I'm not sure if you have installed MongoDB already or not, if you have encountered some problems. I hope that you can have some kind of environment that you can play with MongoDB query. So overall, I think MongoDB query is not that hard to learn, as long as you notice that everything will be expressed in the JSON format, all the conditions, the attributes name. If we want to project some fields in the result, then we have to use the JSON format to specify it. Okay, so let's first discuss the solution for the in-class exercise. So I think let me restart. So I will show you how to start my MongoDB. So first I have to open I have to open a command window. So basically start MongoDB, you have to open two command windows. So one is used to start the server. So once the server is started, then that command window is pretty much busy. You won't be able to do anything. Then the second command window used to start the MongoDB client. So under the client environment, then you're able to write your query and then run the query. So the first thing I need to start my MongoDB server. So my MongoDB is downloaded under my program files. So then under my program files is under the MongoDB. Okay, so you can use dir to list all the directories. So we need to go to the server directory. Then it shows which version of this MongoDB server it has. So it's 4.2. So that's the consider as the directory name. Sorry, let me start it. Okay, then I can go to the bin. So bin usually is the directory that contains all the executable files. So under the MongoDB bin, we just need to type MongoD. So I think this stands for database server. So when you start it, okay, to start, then I think it's everything okay. Then this is pretty much the status of the server. So then I shrink this one. I open another command window. Sorry. So that's okay. So this command window, I do the same thing. I first need to go to the my local file folders that the MongoDB is installed. So my MongoDB is installed under the program files folder. So then I go to the MongoDB server, folder. Then I just need to go to the server folder and then go to the 4.2 folder and then go to the bin folder. So if you want to type out the path, then that's fine. Then now I just need to type Mongo instead of MongoD. So this you will start the Mongo client. Okay, so now we have a little bit ugly kind of command window, but I think for the higher version of the Mongo database, they do have a GUI interface. If I remember correctly, it's called Compass. So then that GUI interface gave you, I mean, very nice. It has more like it kind of predefined the MongoDB kind of pipeline. So you just need to fill in the filters. Then it will automatically run the query, and then the query result will be presented very nicely and formatted very nicely. But anyway, so I think right now I don't have that. I think for this 4.2, either I have that interface, but I delete it, or I don't have it. But anyway, so I think using the command line is also okay. So the first thing first, you can show what the database is under MongoDB. So I do the show databases. I think it shows 4. think the first three are pretty much and come with the installation and also test maybe also so. So every Mongo collections we use actually is under the test database. So then we're going to do use test, means that we're going to enter into the test database. Okay, then it shows switch to DB test. Then you can also show collections under this database. So you just type show collection. Yeah, let me see. I think that should be. Unfortunately, actually, because this computer, I have the system administrator kind of privilege. You know, right now the Yola University kind of strictly control. So it's so hard for us to get system administrator kind of privilege. I think this computer is pretty old. So I am able to install Mongo 4.2. But I think last weekend I was trying to install Mongo DB like at least 6.0 or 8.0 something, but for some reason I failed, so I didn't try. So, but I think Mongo Compass, how would I use Compass? I don't like it in the sense that it's pretty static, so you have to fill in. So it's kind of predefined the Mongo query structure. You just need to fill in the kind of the pipeline. Okay, so sometimes if it's not enough, you have to add more. So to me, I think probably I'm too old. I'm kind of used to the command too, but I strongly believe that the Mongo Compass is much kind of convenient. At least the result when showing the result is much better and readable compared to the command window. And I'm trying to recover my Mongo Compass. Unfortunately, I couldn't. So because I think because my time is pretty tight, so I didn't didn't try. I mean, try to wipe out my machine and reinstall. So, but I basically after this class, I think I'm going to update my Mongo DB installation. So my experience, I think that's probably the last year. I use MongoDB quite a lot. So I think the Compass is pretty nice tool for you to start with. So I think it's kind of, how do I say, if you learn the command line query, I think sometimes the MongoDB, how do I say, the error information is not that, I think it's useful. So it's so hard. Sometimes your query is not running. You don't know what's wrong with it. So I think Compass gives you much better idea. I think if you write something wrong before you run the query, the Compass will notify you something's wrong. For example, when you write in the JSON format to specify the selection condition or the projection, if you miss something, the Compass will notify you so you know where it is wrong. But anyway, so for this one, I'm going to, because I just want to show you when we run the query, what the result looks like. And we can just simply validate if our query produce what we want. So, but I think if you're interested in learning MongoDB query, I think Compass should be a very good start point for you to do that. But you can always, like what I did, use command line too if you want. But I think command line too, actually I don't like it either. But right now I think it's probably when I'm teaching, so I can have more control. I can decide which kind of which operator I'm going to use instead of going into the Mongo Compass to use drop down list to find the one I want. So, but anyway, so yeah, I think that's enough. Okay, now I think for the first, let's see, the first query. So, sorry, I just couldn't. Okay, so for you to see better, so the first query basically asks us to list the restaurants that serve pizza. So the pizza basically is a value for the type of food field. So then we can do the DB. We will always start with DB, then followed by the collection. So collection will be restaurant, then find. So this find operator. So then within the find, usually we can have two kind of curly braces. Okay. So the first set of curly braces used to specify the selection condition, the field values. The second curly braces simply just projection. So we just list the fields that we want to see them in the results. Okay. So if the fields are not included in the second curly braces, they will not be showing in the results. So here we only have one selection condition. We just want to make sure that the type of food is equals to pizza. So we have to use okay, so this type of food, then we have to use the JSON format, then column, then the pizza. Okay. If we don't want to show anything else, I mean, if we want to, basically, we don't want to have a projection list, means that we want to show everything in that document, then we can just type, we can leave that blank, or we can even do not need to include that one. Then we just hit, okay. You see the literal not ended. Okay, yeah, I know it because my pizza is not closed by the double quotes. Okay, now you see it's because I'm kind of enlarge my screen, so but still, let me see. Yeah, I think you can see it clearly now. So still it's pretty busy. So if you want to, the output is formatted, then you can use pretty at the end. Use pretty operator to print out the document in a pretty format. So now it has this kind of a, I mean, it's pretty much print one field a line. So it shows all the restaurants who serves the food pizza. Okay. Maybe you don't want want to show the ID URL. Maybe you just want to show the name of the restaurant. Then you can easily revise this code by adding the second curly braces here. So we have comma here. Then we have curly braces here. Then we just, for example, I just want the name. Maybe address. I also want the address. Sorry, I think this is what I don't like it. Let me see if I'm able to. So let's just do the comma. So I don't know why it's happening here. Address, okay, 1. So in this case, it means that we only want to project the name field and address field of the documents. So address, okay. Now now it only shows address and the name, but the ID is default. So whether you want to show ID or not, it will always show in the ID of each document. So if you don't want the ID in the projection list, you can specify that I don't want the ID. So you do the underscore ID 0. So this tells that we want silent ID. We're not showing ID in the result. Now it's showing, you see, just showing the address and the name and the no ID. Okay, good. Any questions? So I think I can further shrink down a little bit of my command window. I think you're still able to view it. Okay, good. Okay, now let's look at the second one. The second one is list the restaurant that serve Chinese, sort the results by their rating in descending order. So this one is very similar to the previous one. The only thing that we want to select different type of food, and we also want to have the rating. So we want to sort them by ratings. So I think we can revise this one. So first, the type of food will be the Chinese. Okay. And maybe you want to show the name instead of address, and maybe you want to do the rating too. So if you want to show the rating, then let's do the rating. The reason I want to show the rating, we just want to make sure that the results is is showing correctly. Then before the pretty, we have to sort. So we want to sort the output by the rating in descending order. So then we have this sort. So let me probably have to further. Okay. Dot sort. Then within the sort, we specify the attributes we want to sort. So the sort key, usually we call the rating. I don't know why this is happening always. It's so weird. Let me see. Okay, rating will be the one in the ascending, or if in the descending. So what is asked for? It's asked for the descending. So the rating will be -1. Okay, so this is a sort. Okay, let's run it. Okay, those are the results. So now you can tell that the restaurants serve the Chinese food, and the rating are listed in the descending order. Okay, so that's kind of show you that how you can sort the results. I think sorting is very useful. Like I said in the class, if you have a large collection, you query may produce a lot documents. So by sorting documents on the specific field or several fields, it may enable you to quickly identify the document or documents that you're interested in. Okay, any questions? So let's look at the third one. So list the names and address of restaurants that have rating higher than 4 ordered by type of food. So it's asking the name, address, and also the rating greater than 4 and ordered by the type of food. Okay. So let's see. So we do the DB restaurant. Sorry, restaurant. Okay. So we always put the 2 curly braces first. So the first curly braces will only interest, I think, in the ratings, right? The rating of greater than 4. And then, so that's why in the selection condition, we can do the rating. Then recall that when we specify greater than 4, this greater than is operator in the Python, in the MongoDB, we have to use GT, okay? Then colon 4, so that's specified greater than 4, okay? Then it's only ask the name and the address, I think. So that's why in the second curly braces, we do the name 1, address is 1, okay. Then I think if you do not, I think probably I don't want to type too long, then it's gave me some kind of a weird wraparound. So then this is we just simply list the name and the address. Then it's asking us to sort by the type of food. Okay, I think sort by the type of food. So that's why in the sort operator we specify type of food 1. So that means in ascending order. Okay, let's try to see. Okay, so I think this is the results. So it's asking for all the restaurants that has rating more than 4. We're going to list their name and address and also sort by the type of food. So if we examine the sort, let me see. I think the numbers start with first, and then it will start with some kind of we have more. So you see the kind of a notification like tap it for more, so we can. It's weird. I think everything starts with the name. Everything starts with more like number or special character. So anyway, so in this case, it shows that it sorts the name by ascending order. I think it's kind of if the kind of the mix of the number and the string, it will pretty much treat the whole string and the string and then sort it. Okay, so 23 sort is kind of considered is less than the 3, and the 3 is less than 100. It's weird. Okay, so if it's not sorted by type of food, oh, I'm sorry, type of food is not the restaurant name. So let me. So like how about we list the type of food in the projection list, so we can. Okay, let's try this one again. So you see, because we still have this ID, so let me kind of turn off the ID in the result. So it's give us more time. ID 0. So that indicates we will not show ID in the projection result. Okay, now we have this. Okay, now because we sort the results by type of food. Now I think now it makes sense. So it's kind of I think they all sorted by type of foods in ascending order. Okay, questions? Okay, let's see the. I want to probably. So I think the number 4, the address is simpler. Number 5, list the name of restaurant that serve food with. Okay, so let's discuss the question number 5. So it's asking the name of the restaurant that serve American food with rating of at least 3. So this actually basically means that when we do the selection condition, we have 2 conditions. One is the type of food, the other one is the rating. So recall that in MongoDB, we can, if the conditions are connected by AND, we pretty much just simply list those conditions in the first curly braces. So by default, those conditions will be joined by logical AND. So let's do the rest. Find. I think my display the response time will be delayed, so sometimes it's so confused when I watch it and I type in the same time. So it means that what I say is not similar to what I type, so it's very confusing. Okay, good. So let's see. The first thing we want to, the type of food is African. So once again, char string like African, that's basically the, will be the case sensitive. Okay, so first condition will be the rating greater than 3. So for this greater than, we have to use JSON format, GT3. Okay. Okay, those selection conditions defined. Then it's only asking the name of the restaurant. So in the second curly braces, we specify the projection list. So that will be the name. And we don't want to output the ID because that's really consume a lot of space for us. Then finally, we can do the printing. So it just print out the result in a nice format. Come on. Did I missing something? Type of food, African. Rating greater than 3. Name. I didn't say anything wrong. It's weird. So if for the testing, we probably remove one condition to save what we got here. Okay. Okay, so it does show something. Now let's add the ratings. Let me just give me one moment. Let me double check to make sure that the attributes name are the same. Okay, rating. Yeah. Sorry. It should be the GT. Okay. Okay, so name 0. I didn't say anything wrong, so let's try it again. Huh. How about how about GT? Maybe, I don't know. If it does not show anything, that's either does not produce anything. Okay, I think maybe, unfortunately, those restaurants, they're we have, I mean, the reason we have several restaurants with the same name, I think they actually located in different places, different address. So it's more like franchise. Okay, so I think if I change GT to the GTE, that means from greater than 3, change to the greater than or equal to 3. Then I think we got some results. That basically means that maybe the 3 restaurants, their rating is only 3, not higher than 3. Okay. So this is one I want to discuss. I think the only one we miss is pretty simple. So let's see another one. Let me see if you have. Do you have any questions? No. So this one is about the BIOS collection. So BIOS is pretty much, for example, if you don't know what the BIOS looks like, you can do the db BIOS.find. Then you just empty parentheses, because that means we don't have any selection. We project pretty much everything. Then we do the printing. Just make sure. Then it will shows all the documents in this collection. So it has ID, name, birth, death, contributes, and award. So awards is array of objects. So each object also has their own field, like award, year, and buy. Okay, so this gives you an idea what the fields in each document. Okay, although each document does not need to have the same number of the fields, but at least we have an idea what are the typical fields in each document. Then it's asking for the who received award by ACM, list their first and last name, award name, sorted by the year award. So when we look at awards, so each award object has subfield award, year, and a by. So this by showing from which kind of organization the award is provided. So that's why I think we can do so we can do the query. So we start with db.bios. Let me .find. Okay. So we first have to specify that award is given by ACM. So how do we specify the subfields? We use dot notation. Okay, so awards is the top level field. Then the next level field will be the by. Okay, then it will be the ACM. And then it's asked for their name, first and last name, and award name. So it's want to list the first, last name, and the award name, and sort by the year. So come on. Okay. Then in the projection field, we can do I think we can either do the list the subfield of the name. So name also has a subfield. So we have name dot first one, then name dot last one. Okay. Then awards is also asking for the awards. So then awards is also awards. You can do the awards, and then, or you can want to specify a specific award. So we do the subfield award. Okay. Okay. Then it's asking this for the selection. Okay. Then asking us to sort those awards by their year. So then we have sort operator. Then we defined the sort key. So that will be the awards dot year, because that's a subfield here. There's a subfields under the awards. Okay. Then we can do the kind of ascending order. Okay. So if we want them to list it nicely, we can do the pretty. Let's run it. I think so. Apparently it does give us ID, but I think ID this time ID is not that bad. So let's run again. Come on. So we do have the selection list. Come on, give me the selection list. Huh. You know, this is the initial result. So now I'm trying to rerun it. Then it's only show so we have the selection condition, we have the projection. Then it does not showing it's only show the ID. Come on, what's wrong with it? If I turn off the ID. So that's kind of the bad thing about using. Let me show. I don't know if my files is something wrong. I just have. So why it's turning? I don't know if something wrong here. Okay, so I didn't say anything wrong, but I typed this code before the start of the class. So awards by name first, name last, awards, sort, awards, dot year. Let me guess, maybe the pretty. So it's refused to show anything. So let me revise this without sorts. Let's first to see. So it's more like, it's more like debugging, because we don't have much error information to show us what's wrong with it. So let me revise. So I just do the name. You know what? Okay. Now I add awards. Just okay, let me do it. Yeah, it's working. So, but I don't think that's the problem for the subfields, because to test the code before we started. So now we have the sorting key will be awards dot year. Okay, 1. Okay, let's see. Yes, that has results. So pretty. It's so weird. So basically, this is sorting. This is results. So it's asking for the people's name and their awards, as long as they have one award from ACM, and also sorted by the awards year. So I think for the John Bacchus, it does have one from ACM. Okay. And it's sorted by the awards year. Let me see. It looks like, you know, the awards, when they display the awards, is sorted by the awards year. So, you know, now the problem that I'm not 100% sure. So if it's award is sorted by the first year of each document, or it's actually when showing the awards, it's sorted by the each individual awards year. So in each document, because if you look at this one, it appears that the awards are sorted by the year in ascending order. Then, but if you notice that the first for the first person, the first award is 1967, then the second one is the first award in 1971. So if you only compare the first awards of each person, you can tell that they're also sorted in the ascending order. For example, this person, his most recent, I mean, he's probably young. I mean, his first award is close to the 2000, and this one, I mean, equal to the same. So, but anyway, so because we're going to study unwind. So the unwind basically means that if a field has an array of objects, and sometimes, for example, if we want to count, for example, how many awards a person got, so there are two ways we can get. One way is that we're going to unwind the collection, in this case, awards, into each award into a separate document. So unwinding operation basically will keep all the other fields as long as they are not array. All the other fields the same, except that for each, when it's split, those array of documents, it will create a new record. The new record contains each award, for example, along with other fields. Okay, so I think we in our slides we discussed unwind, but I want to just let you know that if this is not showing what you expected, that's fine. Because, for example, for me, my understanding that if we want to get the person who got award from ACM, then probably we only want to list what specific award from ACM. We don't want to list the awards by other organizations. But for this query, it's pretty much list every single award, one by a person. As long as that one of the awards is from ACM, then it will list all the awards. So if that's not what we want, how can we do it? Then we have to unwind the document. So I think we're going to discuss that later. Okay, so I think there's one more query I want to show you is that using the logic OR. Okay, so if you compare the first two questions, they're pretty much, I think the similar. But if you compare the last two, so list the first and the last name of people who made contributions in both Algo and Lisp. The last one for people who made contributions in Java or C, list their first name and the last name and their contribution. So this question basically will require the person will make at least 2 contributions, one in Algo and one in Lisp. The last question basically asks for the people, as long as they make one of those contributions, either Java or C, okay? So here, basically, in order to answer this last question, we have to use the logical OR operator in our query. So that's kind of the things we haven't seen that in the kind of questions before. So let's do the db.files.find. Okay. So it's kind of who made contribution to either to Java or C. So how do we define that OR? So we have to use the OR operator. Okay. So we still can start with 2 curly braces. We know that the first one always used to specify the condition, selection condition. Okay. So for the selection condition OR, we have to use operator OR. So $OR. Okay. Then JSON format, comma. Then followed by comma, we have to have the brackets. So these brackets indicate that we are going to specify an array of conditions. And to connect this array of conditions, we're going to use OR. Okay. So it means that assume that we specify like 5 conditions in this array. If we use OR to connecting them, that means that as long as one of those 5 conditions is true, then this condition will be true. Okay. So in the array braces, in the brackets, we can specify several conditions. So each conditions, we still use JSON format and enclose each condition by the curly braces. So here we have 2 conditions. One condition is that we took either the person's contribution is Java. So we have, I think, country base. Yeah. And the Java. Okay, this is one condition. Another condition will be contributes is C. So contributes. Okay. So within this brackets, we have 2 conditions. So we're going to use OR to connect to these 2 conditions. So you can specify more conditions if there's the need. Okay. And like last class, so if you have more conditions, very complicated, so you have a set of conditions you want to join them with OR, then you also the resulting will be joined with other conditions by AND. If that's the case, then followed by this brackets. Okay, so then you can comma, then you can add some other conditions. Now those conditions will be joined by AND, and also will be joined by the condition of this OR condition. Okay, in using the AND operator. So that's basically provides flexibility of how you can specify your condition. Then for the selection condition, it's asking the first name, last name. So I think I just use the names composite or the embedded. So it's going to embed both first and last. And also, what else is it's also asking the contributes. So we're going to have contributes. So x1, and we do not want ID, so we have ID 0. Then just let's do the pretty. Okay. Let me see. Uncall accept reference. Oh, sorry. The first one DB. I have BB. So some of those error information is pretty helpful, but some of them not. So this one is pretty good. Okay, so in this case, I think we have two persons. One is a Dennis Ritchie, the other one is James Gosling. So you see that the Dennis has two contributions, Unix and one in C, and the James has only one contribution in Java, but it's satisfied that either C or Java. Okay. Okay. Any questions? If no, I think I want to discuss something about aggregation. So Mongo aggregation is so I think so powerful. It's basically defined aggregation pipeline. So it means that when we perform the aggregation, we can apply a lot of other process in this pipeline. So the way of the pipeline is very nice. I think in standard SQL query, we really don't have that pipeline concept. So basically in one query, basically means that it's so hard for us to combine a collection of the operations, and for example, the first operation will take the table as input and then produce some result, and this result will be the input of the next operator. So then we can define a collection of operators, so they kind of sequential. So one operator's input will be the output of the previous operator, and one operator's output will be the input of the next operator. But MongoDB, because of this aggregation pipeline, is really implement this kind of a cascading of the operators. So it's make the query more powerful and also more kind of flexible. I think I like the MongoDB aggregation pipeline very much. So it uses several operators for performing the specified conditions on the field, or the specified conditions after we perform some kind of group analysis. So we generate the group statistics like the count, maximum, or sum, or average. Then we can further select those group statistics using match. Okay. Then it uses project to specify which field will be included in the result, and then can pass to the downstream analysis. And order by, we use kind of $sort and a limit, and the sum is the sum. And also we have I think the join, I think lookup, I haven't tried that part yet. So this kind of sum basically is equivalent to the SQL group aggregation function, like a sum and a count. Okay, so if we have sum column 1, so if we have this operator, that basically means count. We're going to count the number of records in the input. If we do the column sign sum, and then we follow by an attribute name or field name, then that means that we're going to sum that field's value. So in the aggregation, I think pipeline, the attribute's name will be prefixed by this $sign. So this $sign basically indicate that's the field name or attribute's name. Okay, so let's see some example here. I think this example we discussed. I don't know if we discussed. So assume we have this kind of data set, only have 3 documents. I think this data set is about book. So it's record the title of the book, description, and the user, like by user, maybe the author, for example. So then if we write the Mongo aggregate function like this, db.mycol.aggregate, okay, then parentheses. Since we define the pipeline of operators, so that's why followed by the parentheses, we're going to use the brackets. So these brackets indicate a collection of the operator or an array of operator. So each operator will be enclosed by a curly braces. So the first operator will be group. So that's similar to the group by in the SQL programming. So then the column, then we have to specify the group by key. So this group by key will be also specified using the JSON format. So _ID. So then this kind of pretty much fixed. So means the the group ID, then colon. Then we have to specify which field we want to group by the documents. So this one will be the by user. So we see that the $sign. So this $sign followed by the string that indicate this string is a field name in the original document. So that's will be by user field. Then comma. Then we have to specify the aggregate function. So the aggregate function, we can always assign kind of a name, the values produced by the aggregate function. So this name will be number underscore tutorial. So this can use the specify the name, then colon, then parentheses. Here we're going to specify the aggregate function. So here we have the sum column 1. So that's indicate we simply count the number of the documents for each group. Okay, so this more like a result. So result shows ID will be this kind of group by ID. So tutorial point. So that's the like by user field. Then number of tutorial 2 means that there are 2 documents. They have the same by user as tutorials point. Okay. Then for another group by IDs will be the Neo4j. So number of tutorial will be 1. That means that there's only 1 document with that Neo4j as by user field. Okay, so this very similar to, I think we can easily do the mapping from Python and from MongoDB to the SQL programming. So this shows one kind of example. So count the number of people in BIOS collection won Turing Award. Okay. So I think the one idea is that we can, for example, first find the documents that has award. I mean that documents that has Turing Award. Then we count. So this is how it shows the first one. So you see this brackets. So the first operator. So this is pipeline. So first operator is $match. So that means we first select documents who has award called Turing Award. So this will select a group of documents who have a Turing, who has at least 1 word called Turing Award. Okay, then we can simply count them. So we can do the group. So this time it's more like the SQL. So we count the number of the records in one table. So we do not group by them. We just want to count the total number of the records in one table. So for the MongoDB, a similar idea that we use group by the group operator. Then the group by ID we will specify as null. So this is the kind of group condition. So null indicate, okay, so there's no group by ID. We're going to treat the entire collection of the documents as a group. Then we do the count. So we assign this count value to this kind of field or variable called count. Okay, so that's how this query will be answered. So now I think you can have multiple match in this aggregation pipeline. You can also have maybe other operators like the I think besides match group, we also have the others like let me see, the project. So the project can be the last one. You just want to project the field, and also you can have sort. So this provides a very kind of flexible way for us to define multiple operators so that we can achieve more complex query. So maybe data processing, data retrieval, and data analysis, and then we print out the result. So I think that's the nice thing about Mongo query. It's very powerful. Okay, so let's I think that's kind of result. So we probably can run this query. Unfortunately, I won't be able to copy it. So let's type it to the I think. I just want to make it a little bit higher. Okay. So we can do the db.bios. So now we have aggregate, because aggregate allow us to specify a pipeline of the process. So for the first process will be what? Will be the match. So we're going to do the we're going to select the words. So we specify the selection condition, I think. Awards dot award equals to Turing award. Okay, so this is one. Then this condition, I think we just want to make sure. So this is the first pipeline. The second pipeline, we're going to specify the group by. So we're going to have the group. Then inside, we're going to specify the ID. So I think ID. Then, so the group by key will be in this case null. So we don't need to go by any field. Then we're going to do the, for example, count. Or you can give any number. Number, for example, number. And then we will specify the aggregate function. Give it the count $sum 1. I think that's it. Yeah. 2, 3. Okay, let's run it to see what we got here. So basically it shows number 5. So that means 5 person got the Turing Award. Okay. So that's number 5 indicate the total number of the documents that contains Turing Award. Okay, so let's see. I think there's some other examples. So question number 7. So list the number of restaurants of each type in restaurant collection. So basically, I think the idea is if you can write the SQL query, I think this should be very similar. So it's list the number of restaurants for each type of restaurant collection. So I think we have to group the restaurant by the type of the restaurant, right? The type of the food. So we have to have these brackets. And the first curly braces we're going to group by. Then we need to specify the ID. So the ID will be the what? Will be the type of food. Okay, so for the type of food, we have to use $, type of food. Okay, so the ID will be the type of food. Then we do the count. So this basically user assigned a variable name, so you can do anything you want. So count, then we just simply do the sum 1. Okay, I think that's it. So let's see what we have here. What's wrong with target field comment? So let me see. I'm sorry. So let me see if this is weird. Call name. One field. Group by. Oh, I know it. So during the group by, we should contain everything in. So this ID is 1, then count is another one. I have one actual Let me see one actor. So this close. Yeah, I think now I should be working. What's up? I didn't see anything wrong here, so let me see. Type of food, then account, someone. Yeah, I don't see anything wrong. It's so weird. So I think the only thing here, sometimes I'm kind of confused. I think this shouldn't be the problem, but anyway, ID. So let's use system-defined ID. So we probably do not need to use the double quotes. I think I may miss some kind of a curly braces. Group ID. Come on. I think it's the one I'm trying to. This should be gone. I think now it looks fine. Okay. Simply showing. I think, yeah, I may miss one curly braces. Let me see. Yeah, that should be the one. So let me see what's wrong with it. It's supposed to be working. The sum one count. This one is close. This one. This one is close. This one. Yeah, I didn't see anything wrong. I just have this one. Let me edit my code in the. I think the one thing is nice about editing the code is kind of a. You use the. I think use a kind of text editor. So I usually use the text editor like the Notepad++. So we have group, we have ID, type of food. I think that's it is because of double column. Someone. Let me see. I think the only thing I changed that when we when we kind of assign a variable to the aggregate function results, it does not accept the kind of double quotes. It's a little bit weird because pretty much everything char string can be enclosed in the double quotes. So this is what I changed. So instead I have double quotes. So let's try it again. So if I put the double quotes here, it's not working. Because this is the variable, we can give any name. So if I do this one, oh, it's working again. Okay, so now the only thing I can explain that maybe my MongoDB has some problem, so it's not stable. Or maybe the other thing is that I did notice that because I'm using my display to run the code, I think maybe there's some communication problem. So the code is not transferred correctly because this is actually I tried before. So initially I have one actual curly braces here. I think that's the major problem. So I kind of remove that. It's not working for so many times. So later I kind of remove the double quotes around count. So it's working. Now I'm also use double quotes on the count. It's also working. So I think that's not a problem. So okay, so this pretty much shows that type of foods, number of restaurants there. So later I think we can practice, like we can, besides the count, we can also do the average rating. For example, I think we can do here. I'm not sure if I need to check what's the average rating, so then we can perform that too. Probably, let's see, because I'm not right now. I'm not trust my average rating. I'm not trust my MongoDB anymore because it shows a little bit. So we do I think the Mongo will also average. Then we have the rating. So let me double check average rating. Then this is let's try this one. Okay, it's working. So basically the code I'm in this group operator, we have the group by key, then we have aggregate function count number of restaurant, and then we also can do the average rating. So for the average rating, we have to use this aggregate function, then colon, then kind of double quotes. Then we have to specify which field we want to do the average, so the rating field. Then we have to use the $. So this $sign indicate this rating is one of the field in the original document. Okay, so I think that's pretty much what for today. So now I'm thinking, I want to ask you, so if you want to, let me see, if you want to have one actual, like next Tuesday, to finish the MongoDB programming, or you think you have enough, so what do you want? So my plan that I really want to discuss one more class on the MongoDB, but I'm not sure if you're interested in, or you think that's too much for you to grab for within this kind of 2 classes, 3 classes. But by no means I want you to be expert of the MongoDB. At least I want you to at least have an idea what the Mongo query looks like. So in the future, if you have a need, I think you will not be afraid to pick it up and then to probably go over some tutorial and then to start with Mongo programming. So you want to have one actual class for the Mongo query, or you want to stop today? What do you want? So I just gave you kind of a poll. So if you want, you can do the poll. Then I'm fine. So I just, because I want you to really utilize time to learn. If you think it's too much for me, I'm not a programming guy, and then that's fine. So we can stop here today. So if you want learn more, then we can have one actual class at least cover the remaining slides. So what do you want? Do you have an idea? Did you show the poll? Can you do the poll now? Okay, if you don't have any preferences, then I think we can go with one more kind of Mongo, one more class on the Mongo programming. And actually, we do have some kind of assignment. So, but I want to revise it, make it simple. But for this programming, you do not need to have a MongoDB installed on your own computer. You probably just write the query. So I want you to at least to be familiar with the query. Okay, so, okay, any questions? Okay, if you don't have any questions, then we are done for today. So we're going to have one more Mongo programming class, then that's it. Okay, so next Tuesday we will have one lecture, and then next Thursday we will not have lecture. So you can fully devote next Thursday's class on your project, SQL programming project. So any questions? If no, then we are done for today. Thank you.